Hi everybody, my name is Sally Hamill. I'm a third-year MDiv student at Harvard Divinity School, and last year I had the honor of being a seminarian at Memorial Church. And I am thrilled to be able to participate in the Memorial Church's goals of practicing hope, and to participate in this by giving you a little bit of a reflection of some of the things that I do to practice hope during this time. I'd say that one of the most consistent things I do is I take a walk every day. My goal is to walk 10,000 steps, which turns out to be about an hour and a half. I don't always make that time, but I do try to do it because I do think that there's something really sacred about being outside with nature, about using our bodies, about breathing and exercising, letting the blood flow through us and the breath flow through us. I think that's a really, really important thing to connect with our bodies during this time. And so I find that doing that, when I have that time outside, my days seem more easeful and I feel like I'm a little bit more connected with whatever God wants for me in that day. So in addition to my walks, I try to do a little bit of quiet time in the morning when I wake up. Sometimes I'll make some coffee first. I really shouldn't do that. But anyway, I try to sit down and be quiet. I'll put on a timer for 30 minutes and I just try to sit quietly and just kind of digest and settle in to some time alone with quiet. It's interesting when I read about, people like Howard Thurman and the desert monks, the desert fathers, they all strove to have that time of quiet communion with their God. And I think that's really what's supposed to be happening during that time. I won't say that I am always good about it, but I like that idea of setting aside that time just to be quiet, because God knows the rest of the day always seems to be stock full of demands and interruptions and requirements. So having that little time is very precious. The other thing I try to do is do some type of inspirational reading. It can be, I have some kind of go-tos. I like Joan Chittister's The Rule of Benedict. There's like a daily reading there. I listen to a podcast from the Society of St. John the Evangelist. That's always, I find those words inspiring. I like to sometimes read literature or read poetry. I've been recently connecting with Terry Tempest Williams or Mary Oliver in terms of those types of spiritual readings. And the point is to try to get my mind out of the craziness of the news cycle and social media and all that stuff that's just going to rile me up. These practices are part of the practice of hope, and that's what we're doing this year with Memorial Church, is to practice hope and resilience. And I think that's so important right now, because we are faced, well, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm walking around with a low-grade anxiety all the time, like, what's going to happen, and where am I going to be next year, and where am I going to live, am I going to get a job, all these worries that kind of come rushing in, and there's no relief in sight for those questions. So by having that time to get outside and just be with my body and have the quiet time is a chance for me to kind of take a breath and make room for spirituality, God to flow in and help me out there. And it builds some resilience. I think another thing I'm doing this year now is practicing gratitude. And practicing gratitude looks like I do a gratitude text with a couple of friends from New York. And that really helps me to be reminded of what's good in the world. So these are just some of the things, but most consistently is I do my walking, and that's really just putting on your sneakers and getting outside wherever you are, whether you're in New York City walking around Central Park Reservoir or in Warren, Vermont, taking a walk along a country road. It doesn't really matter. It's just getting outside. So I'm so pleased to be able to spend a little bit of this time with you today, broadcasting live from Warren, Vermont. Sally Hamill, thanks.